Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Sulaiman Rahim here, Master of the Covenant, breaker 7 seals. Fear. Fear is the season of fear. This is fear season. Fear is going to dominate this season. Transition. And those who are overcome by fear will not survive, as it says in the angel. All the fearful will be thrown in the lake of fire. Fear. So there's a lot of ways to look at this fear. I keep talking about it. Let's look at it from a different perspective. See, if you understand, if you say you understand something that, okay, you remember that Britney Spears controversy a while back? She was making all this money, but her father was in control of it. He had somehow parental control or whatever. And so he was telling her what to do with the money. He was dictating to her. She was controlling. She didn't like it. Her money. But he had control of it. So eventually she went to court and fought, and I think she ended up getting control of money. Incidentally, she's from Monroe, Louisiana. Britney Spears, right? And my family name, before my father changed it, right, was Spears. He's from Monroe, Louisiana. So they were our former slave masters, the Spears, Britney Spears and her folks. I just throw that out there. See, they won't admit with us, right? Britney Spears, that Spears family, was slave owners of my family, my ancestors. Because that's there, for my father changed his name, right? Because his name before he changed was Booker T. Washington Spears. Okay, so just throw it out there. But see, if you understand the concept that we all get the same amount of energy, and you let somebody else control the energy, that means you're in a state of fear. Because either you're stupid, or you don't understand the concept, or you're afraid to apply it. I got family members like that, right? Okay. You over here sucking on master's titty, right? Because you're afraid to go out here and, oh man, it's not, no. You're going to take your positive energy with you. But you're allowing master to give it form instead of you giving it form. Because your master, your positive energy go with you wherever you go. It's like I said, a man has a bunch of children, he has control of their energy. See? So he says, okay, you can do this with, but it's still their energy, but he controls it until they get to the point where they take control of themselves. And that's because of fear. Oh man, I'm afraid to go for self. Just come to hear massa. Oh, I love being, I got me a master. I got my master head between his legs, and he love it, and he feed, he taking care of me, give me food and stuff, everything. So I'm taking care of him, he taking care of me. There's nowhere in the world, see, because that's the man's responsibility, not the female's. Her responsibility, tell your female, her responsibility to take care of the babies, all that kind of stuff, right? It's your responsibility to provide for her. But you saying master do it, so now master, he's a husband. You just a pimp. Pimping her out. You're a coward. You're afraid. Because if you step out, you're taking a positive, so you're gonna have this, you have to give it quality. If you don't, someone else will. Everything's in control. Controlled by somebody, so if you don't control the nature of energy, then someone else is doing it. And so you're afraid to go, oh man, it might not work. I might I'm gonna have that. So you went back to Master. Oh, Master, give me a welfare check, Master. And you sue coward death because you don't even do that. You send your woman to go do it. Oh, go ahead and do whatever Master say. Oh, Master, oh, my put my hip between his legs. Yeah, well, okay, just go ahead and get that check. What's wrong with you? What you want to eat? I'm not exaggerating, because that's the way it is. See? So you come with her going begging them, putting her head between their legs, so you can have food on your table. It's pathetic. It's sick. See? And that's a lot of Muhammad's trying to break you up with that. And you're going to be broke up in a minute. Whether you survive the breakup, that's another story altogether. Because they're going to shut Master down, cut that titty off you've been sucking on. And you're going to have, the only choice you're going to have is do for self or just die, sink or swim. You know? And there's no pity, there's no universal pity for idiots. See, gravity doesn't respect idiots. Oh, I didn't know that was, I didn't know that was a window. Oh, really? Oh, he was a stupid idiot, he retarded. Don't snatch his ass. Okay. You think that's where it works? You have to get quality. If you don't get quality of energy, someone else will. Okay. And I knew that before I came to nature. I just knew it by nature. I wanted to control my own self. You know, my father controlled me. He's my father. Once he was gone, I looked around, and I ain't like. I wanted to be independent. I didn't want to give control of anybody, or myself, anybody. I know we had to stay with my aunt, right? Because we're still minors. But she had no control over me. But she didn't try. But her husband did. He's my step uncle, whatever you want to call it, right? He was muscular. He was going to the gym and everything, right? He grabbed me one day, going to tell me something, you know. Oh, me and him had it. I didn't beat him up, nothing like that there. But he got the message. He better leave me alone. He didn't bother me no more after that. I did what I wanted to do. Right? So I had independent nature anyway. And I said, I want nobody to take care of me. Take care of myself. I mean, that seemed like that's like, you got to teach a bird to fly. That should be natural. So if you don't have that, then something's wrong, ain't it? That should be natural. I mean, I know the devil took some of that away because it's been depending on him for 400 years. So you got used to it. I mean, it's different between, right, being, how should I say it a nice way, right? Right, Master bend you over, and you liking it. It's a difference. If we couldn't help being bent over, but nobody told you had to like it. Butt broken. That's what it is. Hey, man, I can't be getting mad about me saying it because it's the truth. See? And some of us, right, like I said, because of the vectors and everything that's forced on, but that's why we're not condemning them. It says, Allah will lift you up. You cling to the earth. What do you think cling to the earth means? You're clinging to Master. Oh, Master, give me a welfare check. Give me say, you're clinging. You won't let it go. And the beauty, the thing about it is that he's only control because you allow him to do it. Because that's your positive energy. If you leave him, it's going to come back to you another way. You have control of it. You're going to give it form, but you allow him to give it form. That's why we got to get out of here. As long as we stay here, they'll keep giving it form. That's why we got to leave here. But some of you, that's why we go in tribulation, because some of you we can't take out of here. Because you get down over there in the desert, and you're just sitting in the desert waiting for Jesus to come and give you something. And we ain't giving you a goddamn thing. You still got that attitude. That's why you got to go through This process, Elijah Muhammad was breaking that process. If you listen to him, you wouldn't have to go through tribulation. He was breaking your independency. Do for self. He was trying to tell you. And then you got Farrakhan with Scientology and all this bullshit. You're right back on the tit again. He ain't built a damn thing. He hasn't built a damn thing. He claimed, I don't know what they keep somehow. He built a nation. Islam. He hasn't built a goddamn thing. They're still dependent. And so now you got to go to tribulation, and that's your final test. If you don't break free there, you lost. Because you won't have the devil. It won't be, you don't have no choice. Now see, you was tried. Okay, Elijah Muhammad gave that to you, then you was tried. What you gonna do? Went back on the master's tit. So you was on the tit all the time. It's just Elijah Muhammad was blocking you. Now he's going, you're right back on it. So now you got to go to tribulation. Because you're a thinker, anything, anywhere in the world, you've been Farrakhan. I'll talk about that in a minute. Nowhere in the world. Because anybody have take 5 minutes to read anything, he's through. So that's, you allow him to control the quality of your mind. Which obviously all you gotta do is look there and say, hey, this ain't right. And sure, you damn sure have nothing to do with this angel. Because if you talking about you and the angel and you still sucking it, got your head between mines and legs, and you ain't got nothing to do with the angel. Absolutely zero. Zero. Because you still got their mind and you like it. I would test on that point many times. I tell you, when I was in Guam, I had nothing, zero. Just had all positive energy. Go ahead. And I won. Against the whole goddamn island. When I came back here, I had nothing. I had a couple of dollars in the bank. I forgot I even had it. And I had promised my daughter a car, so I gave it all to her. I was with nothing again. And I didn't go run to Master, say, Master, no, I did not. I went out there and put, because I knew I had my positive energy. And I remember when I think I mentioned the other day about this job in Tampa. I got a contract in Tampa. So I left, and my wife, she drove me all the way down to Tampa. Right? So why, you sure? I said, nah, look. Because you get your contract, but still no, you still got to go through a process, interview process, something, right? They tell you, okay, here's the contract and everything else, right? But you still got to go in face to face, unless you're right there already. So in the case I would do remotely, so I call them and talk to them. They say, okay, come on down, and we get interviewed, and you check it out, and you got the contract. So you drive over there, and you say. Same thing with my daughter. When I had a contract in Pennsylvania a while back, and she drove me over there. And both times, like I said, I was on both times. Many times in my life, I've been down to zero, and I didn't have a car, so I asked her to drive me over there, right? And she, are you driving? Are you crazy? I mean, I was in New Jersey at the time, right? It was about half an hour drive. I said, I ain't worried about this, because I don't worry about stuff like that. You understand? I got positive energy. It's not a matter of faith with me, it's a matter of wisdom. As I know things will work out for me, all I got to do is do it. And so I went out there. I said, just wait. I go up here, I'll be in here about half an hour. I got to talk to these people, right? I came back out, I got the contract. Man, how you do that? Before I got the angel, when I was in Chicago, I was with my demon wife at the time. She was all crazy all the time. She walked out to her, she wanted a divorce. Finally, I was, okay, fine, you got it, boom. And I was supposed to meet she said we're supposed to meet the lawyer that Monday or something, right? And I was working for Time Magazine at the time. And I wasn't a contract, I was still an employee at the time, right? I didn't got much start my own business. And I had no money, like she controlled the money, so all I had was I had a Mustang. It was a pretty nice Mustang. I was into Mustangs at the time, right? And before I started buying, I got a Nissan one time, and after that, and then went back again, right? The Ford's crap. And I said, okay, I'll be there Monday. And so I told time man, hey man, I'm out of here. Gave my notice, I'm out here. So Monday when she said, where you at? I was in New Jersey. Right? Had no money, nothing. Just how do you do stuff like that? Even before I got the injury, you understand? I understood that. I understood what Muhammad was teaching. Do for self. Have confidence in self. So I came to Jersey. Right? I stayed with my uncle for a week till I found me a place. Right? And see, that's not where. A week I found a place, and actually I'm on E, right? And so I went over to and you know it was that time I met my current wife, right? And so I had her drive me over to New York. So we going. I said, that's when I started my contracting business. I said, I'm gonna go over and see her give me a contract over here. ADT was breaking up, and so she drove me down to the train. I don't know how I forgot. I think she drove me up to New York and she took me to the train station and she went with me. And I had just met her, so I think I was there I was a week there. Yeah, because when I first got to New Jersey, I ran into my cousin. I went to see my cousin, and she said she wanted to take me out. She ain't seen me in years, right? And I said, I don't hang out. Oh, come on, man. I ain't seen you. So I go out to this place where she told me, you know, she went, I guess she usually go. And they had a little private party there, right? And that's when I saw my present wife, right? I thought she was the prettiest thing I ever saw, boy. Ooh. And she came over there and said, how you doing? I said, you know, so we started talking. And I told her I was in computers. Oh, I want to get a computer, you know. And she gave me a number, and here we are. But she drove me over there. I went over there, talked to people, boom. Contract. A few years later, man. 2 years later, right? I'm into real estate. I'm buying a mansion. Bam. Peter, how you do that? You came with nothing. You see? Because I'm fearless and I believe in, I don't talk about stuff I don't believe in. See? I knew I had my positive energy with me. I understood that before I got an angel. I said, I'm taking that with me. I ain't leaving anything. I left the form that I had, the form of energy I had was with Time Magazine and with Demon Wife, that kind of stuff. I left that. I still got my, right? It's like you have money, it's either in gold or it's in silver or it's in dollars or whatever. Still, you change one form to another. So I left it. So I gave gave a new form. When I went to Florida, I seen a new form. That's all it is. When you understand that, but if you're afraid, if you got fear in you, you're gonna hold on to. Well, I can't lift you up, cause you hold on. I'm scared. I'm scared, man. If I do that, man. You know, I had that problem with my wife now. You know, I kept doing. She got out of it now, because every time something happens, she always think all the negative stuff can happen. I said, why don't you think about the positive things that could happen? I don't think about the negative. I think about what the positive things could happen. Because most black folks, they think of negative, they don't do anything. Oh man, it could go wrong. Yeah, it could go right. It could go right. So you look at all the negative stuff, then you don't do anything because all this bad things happen. I never look at things that way. All the positive things that could happen. And that's why I'm living my life. And I forget how they say it, right? It's a stay, I'm gonna get the saying. But the point is that then you're free indeed. Yeah, I think he said when you have Christ, you have free indeed or something like that. There, you're free because now you're free. You're really a free person, like a bird, like a bee. You're free, but you're a slave because you're a slave in here. But once you got that knowledge, especially an angel, you're free because now you don't fear it. You go anywhere in the world because you're taking your positive energy and you just give it control wherever you go. But you're afraid. That's another form of fear, and that's the fear that Master Muhammad's going to take. But it's going to take shock therapy to give it to you, because that's what you hold on to. You hold on. Man, you're on the ledge, right? And you're holding on to this grass because you're scared to fall, right? Oh man, I'm gonna fall for it. You don't know it's a net right behind you. You don't know it. Oh. He's going to cut that, man. You're going to have to fall. Oh, damn. Always a net there. I didn't know that. You're going to break that grip. See? Because you break the grip, right? Now you fall. You're proud. Oh, I'm going to die. See? That's the shock you're going to go through. And then you hit the net. Oh, damn. Oh, man. It was there all the time. I was worried about nothing. I was holding this here, and I could have been here free, safe. I was holding this shit up here, holding things. I'm scared. I'm holding that job. That's another thing too, right? When I was employed, I never put up any shit on the job. Never. Something went down out of there. People said, "How do you do that, man?" I said, "Well, 5 plus 3 is the same thing as 2 plus 6, plus 1 plus 7. It's just different." So I close this door. I don't like this. I go over here. It's another one over here. It's still gonna come out. It's just be different quality. I'm still gonna have the same amount of money. I mean, well, if you put, I don't want to say the money because it come in other forms, right? So I never had that problem either. It's like when I walked away from the military. I told you I had this understanding when I was a shorty. When I was in Vietnam, I saw in Malachi, I had spent 4 years in the military. I was a sergeant. I spent 4 years in there. I was thinking about going to officer school. I was trying to go, they best me up on that, but I was qualified. And all this here. And plus there's a special program where you could buy a Porsche, a cheap price, and you pay so much, they take it out of your check automatically. And so my time, I had about another year in the military. I think I had 5 years altogether because I had 2 years, and I re-enlisted another 3 years. I've been 5 years altogether. I think extra year, whatever. Do another year and a half to do whatever, right? And I was gonna come home. I had a college education paid. That's why I went in to get all this stuff, right? College education paid. Gonna have me a Porsche, right? I'm 21 years old. I'm coming back Newark, man. I'm gonna be the man. I'm coming back hard. That's what I was thinking, man, because I went when I was 17, man. I'm coming back, man, because I was, investing in my life. I had enough sense to do that then, right? And then I ran this thing by Elijah just on what I read, my understanding, very little understanding of the Bible at the time. I walked away from that like it was nothing. It wasn't like I was running away from Vietnam because I had been there. This is my second tour. And plus, the second time I was there, man, I wasn't in any combat mode. I was in in Saigon doing computer stuff. And I walked away from that like it was nothing. Looked for Elijah. Had no fear whatsoever. If they caught me, they put me in limbo. I said, I ain't worried about nothing. And it all worked out for me. And I was homeless for 6 months. I ain't steal nothing. I ain't beg anybody for anything. I worked my way out of it. Because I told you I don't have any fear of any, right? The only fear I ever had in my life was my father and that bullshit about going to hell for never after you die. That bugged me. I had to figure that one out. That's it. Okay? But you're fearful. Okay? That's another fear that it's about to be broken. See? But if you haven't broke it now and you had this knowledge, you haven't broke it now, you're probably not gonna break the tribulation either. Because it sure ain't gonna put you in charge. And how you gonna lead anybody? Oh, no. Not gonna happen. So that's what happened when you get home. If you get home, we get there. Oh, we gonna. I mean, we're not gonna be in the desert. As far as I'm concerned, we could be. But that's not where it's gonna be. Master Muhammad gonna make protected. So when you go, there will be houses and all that stuff will be built off for you. Says you get home. When you get home, you have houses you didn't build. All that stuff they build in Arabia right now, they building for us. Beautiful houses, mansions and everything else. That's gonna be yours. It's gonna be the sisters. I already said we get the sisters. Okay, sis, you go find a house you want, and then you bring your man along. You're going to make the choice. That's your right. You deserve it, right? If it's up to me, I'll just let you be in the desert because you got to learn to make something happen yourself. So he's gonna get up. That's him doing it. Get upper hand. See. Make sure you have, but then you still got to do, after that, once you get it, then you got to do something with it. You got to build a new world. You build the universe. Anyway, let me say something else. Okay, let me finish this fear. I mean, it's still, well, actually, I'm still talking about it because the shit show they had today, that was all about fear too. You see, because those people with Farrakhan, most of them are there for fear anyway. They say some of them there because, you know, they still seeking the message of the covenant. But a lot of them out of fear. And those people that's with Farrakhan, the ones that represent Daniel, those guys, these are demons just told idiots. See, Farrakhan had surrounded some idiots. Because anybody had intelligence, unless they told it in total shock, anywhere in the world, they follow that fool. Because there's nothing to support it, absolutely nothing. So they accept whatever he say. And you see they're full of fear over there right now because they don't know what to do. And that's the problem is, see, because they're idiots to begin with. Daniel, Ishmael, all of them, they're idiots. And Farrakhan surrounds some idiots, right? Because they just won't question anything he says. They don't know anything. They don't know if he's right or wrong. Because if you just, a basic analysis, like, okay, this fool, what did he say today? Master Muhammad, he's the God. Okay. That's not what they've been saying for years. It's the originator. We got Farrakhan saying you can't worship Master Muhammad because he's made of flesh. And all stuff like that, right? And then he comes back and says, we got to be grateful for the air we breathe, grateful to God. But they said Master Muhammad's a God. For the air we breathe, for our children, for our food. Master Muhammad don't have no control of any of that. I don't either. If you don't have control of it, unless you give him control as a master, but that's still you. That's still you control it because you say, I'm scared, man. Master, would you handle this for me? Would you take care of my children for me? Would you feed my wife for me? I mean, it's sick. That's what you're saying. But still in your control because you gave control to somebody else. That's still you. Basically, it's your control because you gave it to someone else. That means you could take it back. So who the hell who are you grateful to? I'm grateful to Master Muhammad for my air breathe. He don't have no control of that. Make an own a cream of the planet of God universe. If you're a God, who in the goddamn did you need to be grateful for anybody for? If you're the God. And when you're grateful for something you received. You haven't received a goddamn thing. The only thing that we received here so far that I can consider to be grateful for, right, is the fact that the God came here and started the process, and it what work Elijah Muhammad did. That I can be grateful for that because that helped. If you want to be grateful, I can be grateful for that. And I don't say anything. I'm not grateful for being 76 years old. You know what it feels like to be 76 years old? Try it sometime if you can make it that far. I ain't grateful for that. Oh man, you made 76. You been a 76-year-old body? Oh man, I got my car is 200 years old. Oh yeah, really? You want it? You can have it. I don't need antiques. I ain't grateful for this body. I I ain't grateful for this job I got. I didn't ask for it. I don't want it. This sound like Jonah was grateful? What about the one where it says, you think you get into paradise, I'm paraphrasing, without being tried, you go through affliction and everything else. You think that sounded like they was grateful? And it says that they went through and said that the messenger and the people was I think I got here somewhere. It says it got so bad that they were saying, where's help of Allah? Those of you familiar with this first time I'm talking about. So where's the help of Allah? They was crying. When you gonna help us? You think they was grateful for that? See, they stupid. They evil over there. Plus, like I say, stupid, ignorant, and plus, who is this God that they tell me we grateful for the air we breathe and for our children? Who is that? That's not Master Muhammad. He don't provide that for you. He don't come to the air that you breathe. It's like this crap talking about God controls. Remember this God talking about he controls when you wake up in the morning or not, right? See how idiot they are, how stupid they are. And some of us fall in this echo. We're too ignorant or too stupid or too fearful to even try to think. Because it says, if God controls, this God is going to controls when you wake up in the morning, what do you need a mother plane for? Just don't wake up to his enemies. That's the end of it. Oh, that makes too much sense. Like I said, I give anybody $1,000 to prove that things I'm saying is incorrect. Prove it. Sure, it's incorrect. Sure, it's incorrect. I got the scripture and everything back up. And not only that, I give the scripture and the mathematics to prove what I didn't ask anybody to believe what I'm saying. I never asked anybody to believe what I'm saying. Never. I give you the means to prove what I'm saying. So that's why I told people before I dismiss people. I said, I don't want you reflecting. I don't want you echoing. You got to go and figure it out for yourself. When you prove it yourself, then you can speak to it. You won't make mistakes. You make mistakes because you don't understand what I'm saying, and you get all mixed up with all other stuff. Once you prove it, you ain't gonna make that mistake anymore. That's why you make mistakes, because you don't understand what the hell you're talking about. You haven't checked it. You haven't proved it. You're saying it. You probably don't even believe it. I don't want you to believe it. I want you to know it. I give you the means. You never got this before. You didn't get this from Elijah Muhammad. He gave you the means to prove what he was saying. He told you. It sounds logical. It's basic. It fit. But he didn't give you any way to prove what he was saying was true. I give you the means. I give you the mathematics. I give you the scripture. I give you all these things so you can go and prove, especially the mathematical side of it. That's a study vector, study pressure. I mean, you can go and prove what I'm saying is true. Prove that angel is true, because that's the whole thing too. I'm in the angel. Like I said, I'm seeing what's in there. But another concern here, well, yeah, I see it's in there, and I see what it wants to do, what happened. But is it true? I'm still getting this book from the devil. This is the devil's book. So how I know the book is right? How I know the book is true? How I know the book is not a trick? And my knowledge of mathematics and pressure proved, hey, no, this is right. I had to prove that the book itself is right. So then I had total confidence after that. Just because it says, it's in the Bible. I made, like I said, I went on look for Elijah. I didn't know it was absolutely right, but it was more. What really kind of helped that along. Because at the same time, I started finding about our history, and it came to my mind already that I'm in the wrong damn army. These people are my enemy. And so it was easier. That gave me a little easier. When I saw about, I said, Elijah, You should go look for him, because he probably might have an army. Because I started learning about all the stuff that was in the States, So that kind of helped a little bit. See? Because I didn't know for sure. But I didn't know I wasn't afraid I'd go and things would work out. See? Well, maybe let me say a little and then move on because I'm there 2 hours again. Okay. So I go look for Elijah. I told you a story, a long story how I found him and everything else, right? And so I think it was 1974 before Elijah departed. Was it before he departed? It was just before he departed, just after. I can't remember now. I know I was still working at the press, so must he still. But I worked at the press for just a little while after he departed, so I can't tell. I know it was in that period of time. Anyway, Carter was president at the time, right? And what he did was he gave amnesty to everybody that, because a lot of people was Dodge drafters. I wasn't a Dodge draft, I was in, right? But that included anybody that had any, so it really wasn't designed for a person like me, because I hate wall. These were people designed for people that ran away from the draft and ran the count and stuff like that, right? But the way they worded it, I don't know if they intended or not, it caught me up too. So you had to go down to Fort Benjamin Harrison, I think that's in Indiana, something like that there. And I went down there and they said, okay, Bo, you free to go. Nobody's looking for you. That's the program. And you got all your benefits and everything. I didn't get the course. I didn't get that. Like all my benefits, educate, everything. Right? I didn't take advantage of the college. I said, I looked when I learned in school, I said, that teacher can read. Hell, I saw a teacher reading to me from a book. I said, hell, I can read. So I said, I don't need them to teach me calculus. I can teach myself. I can read the damn book. I can just give me a book on calculus. And that's what I did. I taught myself. Right? Pressure on, I taught myself all that stuff. Trigonometry, that stuff, all that stuff. I have had a couple of classes in trigonometry, I think, once. But anyway, right? So, okay, see, it worked out. Because all that time I was with Elijah, if they had to pick me up, and I was out selling papers, I was doing everything right, if they picked me up, they probably would have been double trouble, because here, I don't know, not to work for the army, but I'm a Muslim now, and I'm hating on Americans, they probably put me in jail forever. I wasn't worried about it, I wasn't hiding, I didn't change my name, anything. I went with Elijah, and I was homeless for like 6 months, whatever, and then on top of that, they said one of the things we had to do is you had to do some community service for a year. That was the penalty. You had to do community service for a year, right? And so I told them, well, I didn't hide. I told them I was working for my Mama Street newspaper. My name wasn't changed, but still had my slave name at that time, right? 21X. And so I said, well, I'm working here. I said, so somebody thinks, does that qualify as a nonprofit or whatever? And it did. So the guy says he's going to send an officer up there to investigate. So about a week later, he was scared to death, devil. He came outside, looked around. He was scared to come inside. He wouldn't come inside for nothing. He looked around, everything. He go, yeah, it's like a nonprofit to me. So I didn't have to do that either, because I was working. I'm a speak, so that was it. These clothes, I got everything I wanted. That's just luck? No. I just gave my positive a new form. That's all. And what this was like from 70 to about 75 years. 5 years I was like one by the military. If they'd have caught me, years in jail. And I wasn't hiding. That's a fact. Okay, let me say one other thing too, You give things form. And you give your positive in your form, you give your negative in your form too. Because negative is going to come back to you. Okay? Devils gave their consequence for them because how they treat us, that's a form of consequence come back to them. Right? And so right now, Trump is giving this negative energy that America has right now. It's full of it. He's getting it for him because what he's doing, he's turning all the nations against him. That's what's going to happen, right? He's trying to wreck everybody's economy. Total economic collapse. He's starting conflicts with everybody. Everybody's going to be at war with him. See what I'm saying? So let me move on. Understand his concepts. And so here it says, men's hearts failing for fear. Now this is the particular fear that I keep emphasizing is about to happen as because of you. Because they're going to see something over in the Middle East that's going to get them heart failure. And I understand fear is a result of lack of power. And that's why it says the powers of heaven will be shaken. So their powers of control, their control of the Middle East is going to cause the loss of control of the Middle East is going to get them heart failure. What about control of the Middle East to get heart? And the problem that the loss of control is something about the loss of control of it that's going to come here and affect here directly. And when you understand that, why they need power to control the military? Because that false Israel up there to keep us from who we are. So when that goes, that we come together automatically as an army. So now you got a war going right here just between us and them. That's just one of the things they're gonna have a problem with. See, when you pay attention, you read this. If you pay attention and you're thinking, then you read that stuff. Now I'm not like just throwing stuff in there. Once you understand the engine, once you understand pressure and everything, then you're going to see and you understand what they're actually saying. Because they're telling you their heart's failing, that means they have heart attacks, anticipation of something. Something's going to happen in the Middle East. That's going to cause their power, their loss of power, which is the reason why you have fear. So what is that in the Middle East, right? That's going to affect something here. And I was going to play this video. You know, this guy was talking. He was saying this. This guy, he's some kind of big professor or something. Some kind of super. He's probably Jewish, right? But he's saying the same thing about this guy. He said this guy was elected because of fear, because he's like Hitler. He says if people are nervous, if people are scared, and they're trying to find somebody who's going to alleviate their fear. I should have played it, right? I still got it, but maybe I can send the link. But he's even saying it. That's what because that's what Hitler rose because of fear of the German people, because they had lost all power. They took all power to them after World War II. World War I. Hitler has lost law. He promised to remove their fear and give them power back again. Everybody wants to relieve pain. All you got to do, if you see somebody in pain, just tell them, I can relieve your pain. They're going to listen to you. You see somebody in pain, and you come, hey man, I can relieve your pain. They're going to listen to you. They're going to listen. Now you may be lying, but they're going to listen because they say anything, man. I want to get out of this pain. They're going to listen. And take whatever you give them. They're going to try it if they don't have anything else. And so they tried Hitler. And he did relieve that pain for a while. And so that's what I'll make America great again. What he's saying? When was America great? When they had control over you, one thing, that's what made America great. That's what he's saying. See? Control of all these nation stuff they was exploiting and getting rich off of. See? They're talking about taking stuff. He ain't talking about giving anything away. We gotta get this, everybody's exploiting us. No. China didn't take your jobs, you gave it to China. This guy was explaining that also. Anyways, move on. Your power is gone. Only power they have right now is the power of deception. See? So they have you dependent upon them when they have no power. See? You read into this, it means whatever wisdom of the wise, he's using what the American wisdom, what they have been 5 years, he's using that, the knowledge they think they have, to get control again. But it's not going to, it says it's going to be destroyed, fail. It means everything, he's telling you everything he does will fail, everything. Nothing he has done has been successful yet. Everything is turning people against him, everybody's against him. It's getting worse and worse pretty soon when real people realize, when that shock happens, when they see it, the heart's failing, he's going to be in trouble. Because you tell some people, hey man, I'm in total fear. They come say, I got the prescription for you. And then you paying for this prescription, and then all of a sudden you find the prescription don't work. What do you think you're going to do? That person. Because now you're going to blame them for all the pain you went through for the month or 2 month prescription that was telling you it's going to work. And maybe you're in more pain now because he's going to put him in more pain. So what do you think they're going to do to him? He's got a terrible end coming, a terrible end. A terrible end. And we ain't talking about a long time from now either. And everything backfires. That's what it says is wisdom. That what it does, it sounds wise to him. Everybody says, that's wise, wise, wise. No, it says it's going to be destroyed. It's going to fail. Just wait till and all the stuff they told me, just meeting and stuff. It's not going to be any peace in the Middle East. I understand pressure and what's driving it. You put the hot fire under the pot full of water, it's going to boil unless you turn the fire off. And they can't turn the fire off because the fire is coming from the universe contracting. So that means it's got to boil. And they can talk and all this stuff, and they run around trying to put the fire out. They can't. It just gets hotter and hotter and hotter. Because look, all the stuff they talk all this stuff for months, but isn't things getting hotter? Have you seen anything cool down at all? Anything cool down in the last few years? So it keeps talking, well, now you got Trump actually threatening people. I'm going to drop atomic bomb. Now you're talking about using atomic bombs. How can that be? Nobody was talking about nuclear, dropping atomic bombs since World War II. You're about dropping atomic bombs on what do you think? Okay, let's move on. Okay. And I want to talk about this conspiracy, right? Says, this is, see, that's like I said yesterday. These Christians, I mean, they deceived. Some of them deceived, most of them deceived, right, by the other ones and the agents and Hagen and all those guys. But they're all worked up right now because they're looking at the military and say, hey man, Jesus come back, they're all worked up, they fired up. Right? Because they see, hey man, now what if they find out that's wrong, and what did you say to him? They're still going to be fired up. But what they was positive firing up, that's a negative, it's against them. So all the fury and everything they got in favor of false Israel right now is going to turn against them, give them heart attacks, strokes, because these people are really furious right now. Man, we got to get rid of them damn Arabs, man. They're the niggas. We got to help false. We got to give them everything they want and everything else, right? All fired up. America's all fired up in the defense of false Israel. But when they find out that false Israel's and that we've and the one they've been opposing is the truth. That right there will cause heart failure because, oh, damn. Because, remember, what they're saying, most of them are taught these so-called, what they call rapture people and everything. They think it's a real calamity, real bad coming. Hear that Rick Wiles thing? They think it's something really bad coming. But that means Jesus coming. They really are excited about it. Something very intense, right? They think it's really intense wars coming, all this things going to happen. But they think it's going to be in their favor. And they looking at man in their mind, man, them Arabs are going to get their ass tore up, man. Jesus going to destroy them, burn them up. They're going to burn the Middle East, man. Oh, they're going to drop some bombs on their ass. Oh, man, they all fired up. They go to sleep thinking, oh, man. And we got to worry about it because when that happens, it's going to get so bad that God's going to rapture us. We don't have to worry about all this. Because, see, that rapture idea means that the world's going to be turned into a total inferno. It's going to be so terrible bad that God's going to snatch them out. They won't have to experience it. Remember, in their mind, things going to be a total hell. Total hell. The earth's going America and America too. America's going to be totally destroyed. That's their, what they call it, what the movie they call, I forgot the term they use, it's rapture, but it's another one. It's the last one or something like that. I forget, right? Good term they use. Anyway, it's going to be so terrible, right? It's unimaginable. And God's going to snatch them up. Now remember, that's their thing. Now what if they come to the conclusion that it's going to be terrible, but God ain't going to come in, it's going to be against them, not for them. They ain't going to be raptured out. They're going to be caught up in it. You see, you understand the concept there? The state of being, state of mind? State of mind is all this hell, this damnation, destruction, right? And then suddenly they find out, right, that's against them. Because that was their hope, the rapture. Hold on to Jesus. And they thought, no, Jesus come to get them. And they're going to hell. Imagine they tell people you're going to hell forever and ever. Now they find they're going to hell forever and ever. Because that's what they believe that. Remember, they believe it. So now they see it's happening to them. You understand what I'm saying? That's the heart failure. And plus, now they got an army right here that's against them. Getting revenge. See? Say no. Remember, anticipation. So now they got this idea in their mind, and all of a sudden they turn against them. That's why they say, oh, damn, that's against us. That's going to happen to us. We ain't going to be raptured. Heart attacks, strokes. Hope you understand. Okay, here. They have said, come and see, remember, they think this is happening to somebody else. Come, let us wipe them out as a nation. They think it's all going to happen to false Israel. Everybody go attacking them, right? For they, and the name of Israel will be no more remembered. See, they think everybody's going to get rid of false Israel. They think that's for them. For they have conspired together with one mind. That means they all got the same, they all focused on our destruction. Right? They have a covenant against you. And said the Ishmaelites, they with it. I have brothers, they with them. They're conspiring against us. You see? Now the ones that know, they know that's talking about us. They're conspiring against us. See? But the other people think, oh, no, that's conspiring against false. No, they're conspiring against us. Because of being a nation. No longer remember, it's totally eradicated. It means total eradication. Gene, DNA, everything is total eradication. And they conspire, they all focus on this. And you don't know. And they're doing the secret, so you don't see it. You see the result of it by their policies, but you ain't paying attention to their policies. In fact, some of you don't vote for their policies. Yeah, we gotta put them in, whatever. See, it says, come, let's deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and come to pass that they, when there falls out any war, they join us our enemies and fight against us, so get up and lead the land. And that's their fear. And it says, do it in the way they want to know. See? Behold, the people of children of Israel are more and mightier than we are. That's their fear. See? And the more control they lose, the more great that fear becomes. And Farrakhan helping them with that, because he says, see, because they said they fear we're going to leave the land. We ain't going nowhere. That's Farrakhan, right? They fear that we might join enemies. No, we're going to have America get in trouble. We're going to help fight for America. Do you see this? He just helped Assad, help to smooth out their fear, assuage their fear. No, we ain't going nowhere. Stop. Y'all ain't going to. So he's the one to keep them from thinking about going somewhere. He's the one thinking about keeping them from thinking about fighting with their enemies. Fight for America, don't fight against it. That's what he's saying. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. I got something else I want to get to in a minute. Oh, it's the same one. Well, I got it here twice. Well, I got, okay. I already said that, so move on. Oh, I got it twice for some reason, okay. And here, okay, this one we get to. And it's little angel stuff here. And Pharaoh charged all the people saying, every son that is born, he shall cast to the river. Every daughter he shall save alive. See? But the first thing was to abort. So he said, well, how does the angel key explain this? I said, all this applies to the angel key. It's a little complicated. See? But like I said, I told everybody, and that's what I said, nobody, I asked, you have questions? No, never any questions. Why? Because you're an agent, you don't give a damn. Because you don't understand it, so why don't have any questions? If I told you to prove everything, don't accept it, then you should have had a question about this. How does this fit in the angel? So you just study it, try to figure it out. If you can't, you might have some kind of indirect question or something. I'm gonna show you in a minute. Throw them in the river. How is that in the angel? Right? And here's a 200 million man army, right? And we're loose. The four angels in having been paid into the first hour, day, and month and year in order they may kill a third of men. And the number, it was 200 million man army, right? See? This refers to China, India, basically, in general. And this is the dragon. Okay, I'm gonna get to my main points. I'm gonna keep this short today, bro. So, throw me to the river. Now let's see what the angel has to say about that. You see here, this is another form of angel key. It has a couple of forms, right? So this is one form right here. Anybody's been paying attention to angel, familiar with this form here, right? Okay. So here's the river over here, right? Okay. These represents the river. See, we're under control of America. The British had control over India and Asia. Europe had colonized Africa. And Soviet Union had ideological control over Oriental. Why? Through communism, because that's where they got it from. Ideological control, right? And it says Satan, false Israel, they're the God of this world. That's why it says they didn't want to sit on the throne. If you ask Farrakhan who's that sitting on the throne, he's going to tell you that's God. Something says he don't know a goddamn thing. Anybody understand English? No, he know what he's talking about. He don't know who the jinn is. He don't know. He don't know who the jowl is. He don't know who the jinn. He don't know any of that. See, but that's what it's telling you. These are the witnesses here, right? They don't control any countries, right? But the ones that sit on the throne is controlling all this. False Israel, and people starting to come to recognition of that. You see here, this is one form, right? When you hear, I'm sure this part right here, right? Okay, where anybody's familiar with angel, familiar with this form, right? So here, eyes up here with death. Eyes dead. That's another way to say. I'm not getting to that right now, right? Here's here's the witnesses, American Britain, and the demons. Christian blacks right here. But now remember, the ones on this side represents the male. Because it says, this was Adam, this was Eve. So when you put these up together, that's that previous. See here? That means this would be the male, and this would be the female. In this relationship, the one on the right is the male, or left is the female. Keep that in mind, right? Okay. So what happens? Okay, this is the war. I should have showed this right. This became victorious, and they kicked them out of the Middle East. And when they do it, they attack us. According to what the angels said, they attack us. They attack the blacks. But remember, the male blacks, that's NOIs up here, and the females down here, right? So when they was here, previous, at death, that was the males. Kill the males, abortion. This was abortion, to kill them. Just killing them. That's the abortion side. That's what it's talking about, abortion. Right? They was killing the males. They wasn't killing the females. Right? Death. Putting them to death. That's what he's saying. putting them to death. Abort them, putting them to death. The males, not the females. That's the males. Okay, I don't know if you caught that or not, right? Okay, then they attack. Okay, now let's look at this. You see here? This one here, when you put the whole key together, right? This one brings the rivers with them. Throw them into the river. That's where it comes from. See, that's the original. See, that's the male there. That's the female down here. On throw in the river, she's still on the earth, on the dry land. But throw them into the river. It's a little complicated, but that's the angel. That's exactly what's happening. It's a little more complicated. If somebody did figure it out, I couldn't say that's a little more complicated. It took me a while to put that one together. I kept saying, how does this have anything to do with the river? I said, maybe you said the sea. Okay, but let's go a little further. Remember I told you that 200-man army was China? I said, once they do this, what the river means, right, that they're going to go to war with China and get rid of them in that war. There's China right there. So I'm not just saying stuff. The key proves it. So that's how they're going to get rid of it, throw you in war with China. Once they attack us, and throw you in war with China. That's where it's going to get rid of you. That's how throw you to the river. The river is a war with China, get rid of you. And not the females. Just you. They don't mean female, male, female. They're talking about the demons. Because, yeah, they don't mind keeping demons alive because they're going to produce more demons. If they keep the females alive, they're going to be raping them and producing more. They don't have a problem with demons. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's saying. I showed you. The angel key proves all this. And I'm not making anything. Anybody understand the angel knows that I didn't change anything. I didn't add anything. I ain't subtract. I ain't changed anything. That's totally consistent, but I say how the angel works. Angel key. That's what it's saying. That proves it, right? The attack, and they're also going to try to get, right? Have you going in that war with China. But then you're going to be trying to show Suleiman come and protect you and get your ass out of here, and that's the resurrection. Keep that from happening. That's why I said, that's why they're going to trying to get your war, trying to get you wiped out. They don't want to. They want a conventional war. So maybe you get it, maybe you don't. I told you I understand this. It's much more than injury, you know, but you don't understand the basic stuff. How you gonna understand the basic? You can't understand add, subtraction. How you gonna get multiplication? I think I'm going to leave it there, brothers and sisters. Let's let this play out, and I think I'm going to leave it there. Showing you power of the angel. Said you can lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink. So if you suffer, you don't make it tribulation or whatever, that's your fault. Because no one's giving this kind of information, and you can easily be proved. Nothing for our concept can be proved. This is the most powerful information. This is the most powerful time in history. There's two critical times in history: the total contraction and the total expansion. The beginning of expansion and beginning of contraction. And you have this is the most powerful time in history. And you got the greatest light. This is the greatest. Why is the greatest light in history? Because remember, the first God was like ambidextrous. But the gods now, you got a high priest and the, remember, one of them, he's total spatial. That's why it says nobody could on that angel but him. And then the other one is total technical. You got that super technical marvel and nobody can catch it. That's why it says Suleiman's the wisest man ever lived, because the spatial actually is greater than the technical, because it has to be out there, the idea. And technical brings in existence. Without the idea, the technical can't do anything. It's like, a woman can't, without the seed, she can't get pregnant. She has the ability, but she needs the seed. And man has a seed. But he can't produce the baby. He can produce the seed, and she produced the baby. Say two. See? So you got two things together. And so that's the greatest spatial mind ever, right now. The greatest technical mind ever. That's to make all things new. It's not going to remake the universe. It's going to take it, give it better quality. See? And greater beauty. That's what sister's going to take care of. Understand? One brown sisters, then we'll close out what I got here. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there, brown sisters. I think I said anything else here? Oh, you know what it says about that goat, right? I'm gonna say so I can bring that real quick. Let me go over here. Oops. Right. Have a major accident here. So I can bring this up right quick. Oh boy, let's see. Where's that at? No, it's not there. Where is it? Right there. So everything's falling into place, brothers and sisters. Okay, there it is right there. Uh-huh. I meant to mention this the other day, I forgot. Okay, there it is right there. Okay. Give me a second, bro. It's almost there. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. Let me make sure I got this word right. So, because you see, all these things happening right now, but and this book's telling you everything is happening. Now those fools, all this world is blowing up, is on it. It's about to boil, and they talking about you got to be grateful. That's all they got to talk about because they don't know anything, and they're afraid to put their foot out there because they're afraid they might get stepped on. But they're gonna be stepped on in a minute. Oh, we'll see, brothers and sisters. You know the thing is that every day delays, it's gonna be worse for them because people get angry. They should hope this happened maybe a year ago. Maybe they might have got some mercy. But every day it gets worse, and they make it worse because remember everything they do is they give and say in the name of Allah, and then they lie. Everything's a damn lie with those folks over there. They're stupid. Oh no. Hold on 1 second, about this. That's one thing gave me something else. CHO LER. Why is it? Oh, there you go. Okay. This is what it says. This is the goat, talking about China, with India behind it. That's the leopard, right? It says he came close to the ram. That means he's coming after America. Right? I said they're going to attack America from the west coast. Their feet not touching land. That means they're coming across the Pacific Ocean. It says, I saw him come close to the ram. He's coming, they're coming for battle. and he was noted with shoulder. He was moved with shoulder. Am I saying that word right? Maybe let me see if they got. See if they got. I don't see it. You usually have a way. What it may do. Usually have a pronunciation in there. I guess it's right. Shoulder. And this is definition of it. In the Bible, shoulder means to a state of intense anger, wrath, or irritation. And the Bible used this to describe divine judgment and anger. So what it's saying is that when China comes at America, India was against China, now they closing up to it. He said they're going to come with shoulder. See? He says he come close to the ram, he moved with shoulder and smote him. And it says he came with a fury. See, he ran unto him in the fury of his power. It means when China ended come in fury, and it says it come with great show of anger. Now, ain't China getting very angry at America? Have you been noticing lately? You're getting very angry at America. Now, America's directing, they got almost direct tariff war with China. China said, we ain't backing down. So we're going to put our war back against you. That's what it's going to be. So they're going to be very angry with America. Very angry. Oh, and I missed something to say. I missed something else back here before. Let me see if I can get this before I can. And then go back here and show something. Okay, see here. Remember I told you, I said, Magog to be taken down by China. There you go right there. See, they were going to throw us in the river. They're going to be taken down by China. Yeah. When China moves on America, they're going to take them out first. That's the firstborn they talk about. That's one of the plagues. That means two things. Come out, COVID and also. There it is again. And so all of a sudden, America's making China really angry. And they direct all their tariffs at China. And China said, we ain't back now. We're going to put tariffs back on you. So now, I tell you, Trump is giving quality control, right? It's his destruction. So it's negative energy. Like I said, they're writing their own obituary. American forces are writing their own obituary. Because what they're doing right now, you're going to see exactly coming back at them in spades. In a few more days, I said literally a few more days, right? Because you got Trump, he's going to drop atomic bombs on Iran. That's what he's talking about. See, and they got people talking about that. I was going to play up that clip for you. Was the guy was actually talking about it. But he's a main part of the administration, used to be. He said he says they designed those weapons specifically for Iran. And those stealth fighters they got there, said they got those bombs on it, and they was designed specific. Says Trump had those designed specifically because they got those deep underground bunkers. They said the only way they can get rid of them is with nuclear bombs. Come out, nuclear bombs. But it says Iran's will come out there like a whirlwind. That sounds like preemptive to me. Like a whirlwind. And tear their ass up. And then China's coming, right? It says in fury, with great anger. Because America's right now is at war with China economically. They're going to destroy them economically. See? As they're saying, they say, well, I thought you said they're going to use that was throwing the river. That. I'm not backing off on that one. The problem is they built China. They made China a powerhouse. But when you build something, you don't want it to get stronger than you. That's the thing. China's getting too strong now, so they're trying to cut it back. But that's the purpose of it. They made China strong. China was a basket in the 50s. China didn't steal American jobs. America gave China jobs. And it was so-called Black Caucus, they was voting on that stuff. I told you. Y'all demons, everything's going to pay up. I'm going to leave it there, brothers and sisters. See? Everything is in place. Everything I said is in place. So the only thing I have right now is you blow up, boil, or if it cools down, it's not gonna cool down. Right? So I see the bubbling, you know it's about to okay, hold your we'll see, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum. I think that's it, yeah. I'm not I'm not gonna do anything else. I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah, the plan. So yeah, I talked about this already. So, but that's this war. I talked about this yesterday, right? All this represents Europe, right? But the Iranians, the original, they look like Europeans, like Master Muhammad saying. He's really original, but he's got white skin. So they're part of Europe on their maternal side. And so they really still in the center, or it's porcelain. They look like they porcelain on the outside. But when they collide with these, they'll be colliding with steel. And they go, okay, I'll leave it there. Okay, I'm leaving it there, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum. I'm gonna let this run. Shouldn't do it like that, but anyway, I did, so. Pass this real quick. Okay, hold on, bounce. This is, yeah. Okay, I take a long route. I should, give me another second, couple seconds here. Oh, longer than I thought. Hmm.